place where you can go, where there's no one to tell you yes or no. If you just look into your heart, you will find there. That's the place to start. If you take a step and take another again, you'll find a better place to land. I know that it can be there someday. You've been waiting for. I know this life can be that one life you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day.
This fall, escape to the Smokies for the Bavarian Fall Festival at Anakista. Enjoy Bavarian-style food, live music, fall colors, and a beer tasting pass you'll love. Enjoy good views with great brews. Get your tickets at anakista.com.
Well, we've almost made it to the weekend, my friends. Good morning. How's it going this morning? It's chilly. Have you been outside yet? Have you let the dogs out yet? It's a cold start to the day and already getting reports of some frost across parts of East Tennessee, so something to keep in mind, especially across upper East Tennessee where we do have some chillier weather in place. And for those of you that were asking, I've added a lot more cities, all of the major cities right there at the bottom of the screen for your current conditions, your forecast for the day today, and also your forecast for the day tomorrow. So that's going to scroll through all of the cities around East Tennessee. Anyways, good morning, Eva, Deborah, Rhonda, Carol, Kathy, Denise, Julie, Shelby, Lisa, Chris, everybody who's joining us this morning. Glad you could join us here this morning as well. All right, I want to start you off with a time lapse from yesterday. How about this one? This is from Anakista. And again, watch this. Of course, the sun angle's low and it's lowering. So watch this. The sun barely gets out of the screen. There it is. There. It's almost like we're in Alaska or like, there it is. It's barely. And now it's coming back down. Not a cloud in the sky all day yesterday. And it just turned out to be a phenomenal day. Beautiful sunshine, a bit of a breeze out there, but definitely a comfortable day. And out there this morning, a live look now at in downtown Clinton, Anderson County, which, by the way, I had a chance yesterday to get to Clinton yesterday, went out to the Clinton City Schools to chat with the Blaze News crew. Did you see that on social media yesterday? It was so fun. I love seeing these younger kids, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, get into journalism, learning how to write, how to edit, how to get in front of the camera, how to speak, try to speak as clearly as you possibly can, how to interview people. These are great skills. Just plain simple, great skills to have as anybody, as an adult, as a young kid. But to learn these and learn to get up in front of the camera this early at their age is just, it's mind-blowing. I wish I would have had that when I was a kid, although I probably wasn't interested in journalism until I was like basically in high school. All right, let's get to work with the forecast. Yesterday, we topped out at 67 degrees. I was forecasting 65. So we were 2 degrees above the forecasted high. So thought about raising my temperature a little bit, but I'm going to hold strong at the 68 degrees that I was forecasting yesterday for this date, for today anyways. And so we'll see how it all plays out. But we're generally speaking, we're about the same as we were yesterday. The wind won't be as strong though. We have a northwesterly flow in the atmosphere. High pressure's sneaking in back behind that low that's exiting and departing. That's what's going to give us some nice weather for now. But remember, we're talking about a storm system that's heading our way as we get into the weekend and more so into next week. Plus, I'm highlighting a preview of that Halloween trick-or-treat forecast. And do I dare say that 4-letter S word on TV? I don't know if I should, but we may have a chance for some light snow. Our first bout of light snow across the peaks of the Smokies. I'm going to talk about that and some probabilities coming up here in a second. All right, temperatures are trending up colder than what we were yesterday. We're about 4, 5, 6, 10 degrees colder. So We do have areas of frost, 33 now in Union County, 33 Tazewell, 31 Rogersville. Tri-Cities is coming in at 30 right now at the top of the hour. That was at the top of the 7 o'clock hour anyways. And even upper 30s to mid to upper 30s, low 40s across the Southern Valley. So again, a little bit more frost this morning, and we potentially could see a little bit more tomorrow morning. But it's going to turn out to be a great day. Listen, our average high for this time of year is now 69 degrees. North of Interstate 40, and that's, of course, Knoxville cutting East Tennessee in the middle. A little bit warmer in Chattanooga, a little bit cooler Tri-Cities. You get the point. But we're going to be in the mid to upper 60s. North of Interstate 40, south of 40, we could be in the upper 60s to maybe a couple pockets of low and maybe mid 70s. So if you're joining us from the Southern Valley or have travel plans to travel south down 75, it's going to feel a little bit warmer there. You have evening plans here tonight, as the last few nights, typical for this time of the year. Once the sun goes down, you'll need those jackets. But it makes for a nice little evening commute or evening walk around the neighborhood. Wife and I did that last night. A little walk. We call them the bathroom walks for the dogs. Anyways, our winds are not going to be as strong today as what they were yesterday, but still a little breezy. Just that cool fall breeze is really, this is what October's about, right? All right, so this dry air that I showed you at the very beginning, the northwesterly flow is going to set up shop and stick with us. And so therefore our dew points are going to stay on the lower side all the way through Saturday. That's why we have frost that's possible, because morning lows are going to dip down into the 30s and 40s. But then those dew points start to climb as our next storm approaches. We'll talk about that here in a second. But our low temperatures for Friday and Saturday should be in the upper 30s to low 40s. So again, some areas of frost there. And then next week, I don't know why that frost got offhand, but next week we'll be talking about the possibility of some more frost. Actually, I think Thursday's, that's an outlier anyways. All right, here's our storm system. It's finally moved inland. Brought some snow to the Sierra Nevadas. Brought some snow to the Wasatch Range in Utah. Any skiers and snowboarders out there? Yep, I'm trying to get out to Utah at some point in my life to do some skiing. I've done a ton of skiing in Colorado. So snow all the way across the Rockies. But through the day today and tomorrow, we're going to get a big rainmaker along Interstate 70, 40, 20, and 10. I-10 that run east and west across the country from Texas to Oklahoma and Kansas. Now, as the storm system swings its way into our area through Sunday, probably not going to get a whole lot of rainfall. You can see the rainfall forecast. These are probabilities anyways, and the probabilities are in the lower end. This is the ensemble forecast. This is actually the NBM model with the National Weather Service. So it's an ensemble forecast, but gives us a better handle and a little bit more stable when we're talking long-range forecasting than the deterministic models, which is just a one model run. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, right? Because you know it's going to change the next day or the next model run. Anyways, through this weekend, should be a great weekend to get out and check out the fall foliage. Remember, we're really nearing peak across the highest peaks of the Smokies. A lot of you have been sending in photos, so I appreciate that. If you do get out and check out the fall foliage, send some photos my way. And I say it's a good weekend to do so today through Sunday, because next week, look at the rain that potentially could be heading our way. This is beneficial rain. So while the system's going to hold off through the weekend, next week it starts to work its way on into the area. Now, I'm only going to keep about a 30% chance of rain so far, because we're looking at 5 days, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I do think that probably Tuesday night, Wednesday, and maybe even Thursday will probably be the rainiest days. So we'll probably be tailoring those percentages up to likely at this point of the game, based on some of the model guidance I've seen, likely 100% chance of rain. And as you clearly saw, we are looking at some decent rain around the area. So when we highlight your 7-day forecast, we're going to see those temperatures stay at or just slightly below average all the way through Sunday. And then we're going to trend below average Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as we track our next storm. Now, here's the deal for the weekend. I think Friday we're going to have increasing high-level clouds and some jet contrails, a sign of a changing weather pattern. Whenever you see jet contrails, it lets us know that we have more moisture in the atmosphere. We're not talking chemtrails here. We're talking contrails. Con, C-O-N. For you conspiracy theorists out there. I will tell you, every single time we'll have contrails in the atmosphere. It is science. Anyways, the clouds will stick with us through the weekend. So I think we're going to have that filtered sunshine Saturday and Sunday. Then the cloud deck starts to lower as the storm really pushes on in and starts to bring us a little bit more rain. But remember, Halloween is next Friday, a week from tomorrow. And when we look at your Halloween, that got all messed up. See, this is a deterministic model, and it just flip-flops back and forth. It was fine this morning, but now it's not. Anyways, we have a cold pocket of air that's going to be swinging its way on in behind that next system. And therefore, as of right now, I think trick-or-treating and Halloween will be dry, but potentially we could have trick-or-treat temperatures in the 40s, going from 47 by around 5 down to about 43 by 9. I think that's a good probability that could happen. So make sure you check back in because we'll, of course, be highlighting that for all of you moms and dads heading out to trick or treating. Now, let's talk for a second the 4-letter bad S word that we see on TV here in the Southeast that nobody really likes, but some do. I do, but some don't. Most don't. Anyways, all right. So with the ensemble forecast, it is picking up on some snowfall across the highest peaks. Now, I pixel quarried it for you to show you that maybe 1 inch to 2 inches possible. But hold on a second. Let's talk probabilities for a second, because the probabilities on seeing snow a week from Saturday, a week from Friday or Saturday, a week from tomorrow or Saturday, I should say, is like a 2%. But the good news is that, maybe there is that potential. The leaves will be all gone by then off the highest peaks of the Smokies. Should make for some nice views if we can get that to happen. And typically we get, a little bit of snow across the highest peaks of the Smokies this time of the year before it really starts to ramp up. Chemtrails are for science, eh? I see what you did there, Roz. Oh, sorry, Nor'easter Nick. Totally covering a secret. I blew it. Oh, God, what am I going to do now? Them contrails are controlled by the government birds. Duh. By the way, Nor'easter Nick, everybody say hi to Nick Pittman. He's up in New Jersey. He does exactly what I do here in East Tennessee. So if you are ever up in New Jersey, give him a big shout out, give him a big follow. We do have somebody on here. Oh, shoot, he's not on here this morning. Nick, somebody up in Jersey that actually watches my program every morning. I'm not quite sure if he watches your program every morning. You may, because I think you go before me. But anyways, he's always joining from Jersey. I want to shout out to my grandson, Gordon. He's 11 years old today. Happy birthday, Gordon. You're nearing teenager days. You know that, right? Those teenager years are not too far away. My kids are 10 and 12, so they're right in the middle. Good morning, Myra. How are you? Joining us from Harriman. Have a blessed day. How are the colors this weekend peaking? Yes, let's go ahead and highlight that for you, because the forecast for this week has been to get a lot more color across the highest peaks of the Smokies. So this takes us all the way through for the week of the 20th. So this takes us all the way through Sunday. So we are nearing the peak, if not at peak, right across the highest peaks of the Smokies. Of course, you go to Cades Cove, you come down to about 1,200 feet in elevation, and we're not quite there yet. You come down to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of color changing, but we should start to see a lot more color here over the next several days. And the key ingredients have been the nice, crisp, clear, cool nights and the nice, sunny, pleasant, warmish kind of days, or pleasant average days. And so you need those kind of days. Plus, we need moisture. And remember, we haven't had a lot of moisture this October, so likely that is why we're delayed. We were already past where we typically would see the peak fall foliage here around East Tennessee, but likely to be a little muted in some locations as well, thanks to the warm air. So warm air and lack of rainfall keeps us muted and delayed. So anyways, we'll keep you posted on how it all plays out. Again, if you head up to the higher elevations, grab some photos, share them. You can upload those to the Witcher's Pictures link or submit photos right there on the East Tennessee Weather app. All right, shall we dance and get off to, let's take a look at some of the, we got a little bit of fog right along the rivers down. Here's a live camera in West Knoxville at Fox Road Marina. That kind of says October, doesn't it? Ooh, spooky. All right, but it is October 23rd, so of course we're celebrating Gordon's birthday. I think it was Gordon. Yeah, happy birthday, Gordon. We're celebrating Gordon's birthday this morning. Any other birthdays or any events going on? Felicia says Saturday night is Knoxville's Creature Gathering at Market Square from 5 to 9. Live music, costume contest, free kids activities and costumes, and a great dark market. That sounds awesome. It's your best friend Kelly Allen's 50th birthday. Happy birthday, Kelly Allen. You tell her that Mike Witcher said happy birthday. You promise me? Go give her a big giant hug for me. Cold air does change the leaves. Northwest Indiana fall peak is all gone. You ain't wrong about that. All right. It's National Horror Movie Day. Whoa, hey. One thing, listen, let me just tell you a quick story about this. Because when I was a little kid, we used to camp in the backyard. And my parents used to have a garden in the backyard. A decent-sized garden. Probably about 40 feet by 10 feet. Whatever. And we used to always have corn. We always used to grow corn. So one time, my friends we had a slumber party in the backyard. I had my friends over. My older brother had his friends over. And we slept under the stars. And it was great. And we watched Children of the Corn that night. Not so great, because I didn't like scary movies as a little kid. And we had a cornfield in the backyard. Didn't like that. Well, what do you think the older brother and his friends did? They scared the bejesus out of the younger ones. They were rustling around the corn, making noises, popped out of there, and just scared us to death. Now I can do scary movies every once in a while, but anyways, you want to watch a scary movie? Today's the day to do so. It's National Boston Cream Pie Day. I mean, come on, who doesn't like a Boston cream pie? I love me a Boston cream pie, Boston cream donuts, you know it. It swallows depart from San Juan Capistrano Day. It's also National Mole Day. We're talking numbers here and math. It's National TV Talk Show Host Day. Hey! Not really a TV talk show host, but I remember watching plenty of those back in the day. You know, you get the Maury, what is it? Now I don't even know the names of them anymore. Remember all of those back in the 90s? All the TV talk show hosts. And it's iPod Day. What do we do without the iPod? Oh, back in the day. Remember all the good old iPods and then the little tiny one that you couldn't really see the music on there? You loaded music and it was your little tiny running one. Yeah, I broke my iPod at one time. Sad state of affairs. All right, let's talk about historical weather events across the country. In 1989, a storm moving out of the Gulf of Alaska brought rain and high winds to the central Pacific coast region. High winds in Nevada gusted up to 67 miles per hour in Reno. And Redding, California also had wind gusts of about 66. In 1988, Denver, Colorado. Let's see if I remember this one. I was living in Denver in 1988. Reported their first freeze of the autumn. In Chicago, Illinois, reported their first snow. In Texas, afternoon highs reached 93 degrees ahead of that cold front. In 1987, 13 cities in the southeastern U.S. reported record low temperatures for this date. Places like South Carolina, we had over 5 inches of rain in Corpus Christi that day as well. In 1843, Indian summer was routed by cold and snow that brought sleighing. Person who ever wrote all these. This is crazy. Anyways, brought a lot of snow to Vermont. Go there. In 1761, a hurricane struck southeastern New England. It was the most violent in 30 years. Thousands of trees blocked roads in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. And your little history lesson today. The quote of the day, by the way, is neither a lofty degree of intelligence nor imagination nor both together go into making of a genius. Love, love, love. That is the soul of a genius. Not bad. In 1958, Russian poet novelist Boris Pasternak was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature, although he was forced to refuse the honor due to the negative Soviet reaction. In 1946, the United Nations General Assembly convened in New York for the very first time. And in 1910, Blanche S. Scott became the first woman to make a public solo airplane flight. The more you know. All right, my friends. Let's check out the sunrise. We'll go to Union County. There's a live-looking Union County here at this hour. Nice little glow of the sun coming up over the eastern sky. Sun is coming up as we speak. It really is going to be a gorgeous day. I really don't think we're going to have that many clouds across the area today. But again, remember, those will be increasing as we get into our day tomorrow, thanks to those high-level clouds as our storm approaches. And then the clouds will kind of thicken up, I think, as we get into the upcoming weekend. All right. So I had a chance yesterday, as I mentioned, to go check out the Blaze crew over at the Clinton City Schools. Those youngsters interviewed me, so I'm going to be on their program, which is really, really cool. But we had a chance, obviously, to take photos, so let me share some photos from that. So let's see here. Here's the group. Put these up here like this. There's the group of kids right there. Then, of course, they were showing me everything they were doing. That right there. Getting the cameras ready. They were getting the cameras ready right there before they got to interview me. And then I got interviewed, which was awesome. Right there. We got interviewed. And then they kind of showed me everything they were doing. Here's the behind the scenes. So they're learning everything. I mean, they are learning everything. Here we go. From running the cameras, running to lights, writing scripts, to editing. And then again, they were showing me the behind the scenes of everything that was going on. So really cool stuff there. And of course, thanks for having me out at Clinton City Schools yesterday to talk to or have them interview me anyways for the Blaze News crew. How about this fall colors and these fall photos from Cades Cove? Beautiful shot there from Cades Cove. Isn't that gorgeous? I love those old churches and schoolhouses up there in Cades Cove. Really cool stuff there. All right. Other fall colors coming in. We've got AGC Adventures, Lincoln Trail Foliage, bike ride on Sharps Ridge. So Sharps Ridge is starting to see a little bit of a change. That up there. There we go. That's a great shot. Thanks. I appreciate that. ACG Adventures. Let's see. We got another one from John Huthner. Sun through the trees in Cades Cove, he says. Here's the sun shining through the trees in Cades Cove. And it's sideways, but that's okay. We'll fix it. I love seeing the sun shining through the trees. I mean, isn't that just not, especially like in the summertime, if you've ever done any hiking or backpacking up there, it's awesome. Here's Elaine Ombre. She joins us all the time. Here's some great color, a little color. Anyway, she was out getting adventurous yesterday. She said yesterday morning on the broadcast. She said, Indian Boundary Lake. I love Indian Boundary. If you've never been there, it's in Monroe County. I think it's technically Monroe County anyways. It's gorgeous. Great lake, great hiking, great camping. She had some other ones. All right, here's another one. As she climbed in elevation, the colors are changing just a little bit more. So again, I think really by this weekend, thanks to the nice cool nights, we're going to really start to see a lot more. And here's Elaine taking photos from Cherryhala Skyway. Gorgeous. Aren't the Smoky Mountains just absolutely beautiful? And again, we're starting to lose some color at the tops of the peaks, but the lower elevations, it looks a little rather muted. Here's another one at Bald River Falls. Again, this is out of Tellico Plains, Bald River Falls. You'll drive right past it if you're heading up to Indian Boundary. And a great shot there from Bald River Falls. So Elaine has outdone herself for sure. And we had a great sunset walk from AGC Adventures. How about that? We had a nice little sunset the other night. And here's a great one from Rhonda Young, taken on 1021 on the way back to Knoxville from Hendersonville, North Carolina. So a little bit of color changing there as well. That one right there is from Rhonda Young. We've got another one from, let's see. And of course, we just have to highlight this awesome sunset or sunrise anyways. Sunset anyways on Tuesday from Kenneth Latchford. I think we showed this yesterday, but it's so nice. I want to show it again. Is that not awesome? Great photos. Remember, you can upload those through the East Tennessee Weather app. If you don't have the app, of course, you can scan the QR code. I don't have a QR code right here. But anyways, just go to your app store and search East Tennessee Weather. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap things up here this morning. I sure hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining this morning. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the day. It's going to be a gorgeous one. So jackets this morning, sunglasses, then jackets back on later on tonight once the sun goes down, right? And then that's going to be the trend all week long with rain increasing next week and potentially some chilly air for Halloween. Of course, I'll keep you posted on that. You can always find 1 Minute with Witcher right there on front and center on the East Tennessee Weather app along with a full forecast. And don't forget, I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, and all social media. I do run a 24/7 weather channel that you can see at the top of the app right now. Once the live broadcast is over, we turn that back on. But if you are joining on the app and you joined in late, I'll send you right back to the 24-hour channel so you can catch the latest forecast from yours truly. I sure hope you have a great day. I'll see you back here tomorrow.
There's an effort that you made that wasn't enough. There's a figure in the mirror that's giving it up. could light up the show if you gave it to me. This army of sinners forgot to fight for a cause, while the visionaries run a race that's already lost. And it's you, oh it's you. It's you, oh it's you. There's a schoolboy standing up in front of an army, shoes in the mud and the wet paint twists and turns up the alley just like it should. So your colors, they start, and it's stripping you